one of the best race car drivers of all time, the greatest character in all of motorsports, Jack Hughes.
And I don't know what you're allowed to say on this thing, what you're not, but I tell people it's like watching porn, you know. You can only watch that stuff for about 5 minutes, then you want the real thing. Well, racing's more extreme than that.
It's called Cages Are for Monkeys. Can you tell us why you named your book that?
Well, you know, what I really wanted to name it originally, and the publisher just kind of frowned on it. I really wanted to name it Yank My Doodle. It's a dandy. You know.
$600 in total for just going QuickTime.
Yeah, I'll take it. That'll buy a lot of dog food.
Ladies and gentlemen, your fatheads I wear QuickTime qualifier tonight, Dillon Wells.
This is Rip the Fence.
Call me Big Daddy.
Presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah, you damn right I got time out there.
Also brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Welcome to episode 99 of Rip the Fence, the Wayne Gretzky version.
The old 99p special here.
the 99p, letting her rip, bud.
Yeah.
What are all your numbers?
Well,
you had the 99p.
Yeah, I'll start from the beginning.
All right, go ahead.
I was the 14, then I was the 6, then I was the 4, then I was the 51, and then 99p and 81.
You're all over the map here with numbers.
We got single digits, we got almost triple digits, we're all over the place.
That reminds me, you were telling a story the other day. Are you allowed to tell a story about your last win ever?
I can, sure.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary, actually.
Wow.
It's at the end of July, like July 29th or something.
Mm-hmm. Story time, Dillon Welch.
Yes. It was a regional midget race, 2010 at Plymouth, Indiana, back when it was a pavement track. And I won. And when we were driving home on 31 south, headed back to Indy, it was my dad and a friend of ours in the front seat, and I was in the back seat, and a guy drove through one of those crossroads on 31, like through the median basically, and pulled out in front of us, and we basically T-boned him, and it split my forehead.
Harry Potter style.
I've got a big scar. If you get close enough to me, you can usually see it. But
lightning bolt.
Yeah, but it literally goes from the bridge of my nose to the top of my hairline. I had to get 32 stitches, and that was the last race I ever won. So
are you scared to win?
No, I'm not scared to win. But hopefully if we go to PA and I win, I'm going to be glad when I get back to the hotel. So.
Oh man, that's terrible.
So
I hate that you had that crash, but that is funny.
Yeah. So that was the last race I won 10 years ago.
Man.
Yeah.
And then the winning ways just went out the door.
They just went out the window with all my skin on my forehead. Just flew away.
I have a feeling you got a win coming here soon. You've been running pretty good. So I found a new seltzer that kicks ass.
Oh yeah,
Vizzy.
Oh yeah, is that the vodka seltzer deal?
I don't know. It's like it has amino acids in it or something. It's kind of like those Bangs.
Oh yeah,
if you will, but just like an alcoholic version of it.
Yeah,
it's pretty banging.
Like it, huh?
It's really good. Better than Truly.
Really? It's just thrown to the king.
White Claw. White Claw brings up the rear in that discussion, no doubt. We've had a ton of racing going on this past week, and you pretty much watched it all on Flow Racing. So good right now, man. I watched all of Ohio Sprint Week, Terre Haute, PA Sprint Week. Larson kicked their ass. Dude, the racing is like right at your fingertips right now. It's amazing.
I mean, there's stuff all over the place. I got on there the other night to watch one of the Ohio races, and it was like you had to scroll like 5 things over just to find Ohio Speed Week, which is like the biggest thing going on right now. But there's just stuff everywhere. So it's great. And they're I saw you tweeted about it today, but they're doing this really cool thing where each night they embed a camera crew and a microphone with one of the drivers at Ohio Speed Week, and kind of do like an all access thing. It's super cool. So I mean, there's great content out there right now.
Go watch it. Zeb Wise was their latest one. He cusses a lot more than I thought he does.
Oh, he's just a little kid.
That's awesome. I'm like, yeah. Zebby, my boy.
Yeah.
He and Sammy are working together. Sammy's a character too, Sam McGee. They had some fun. They started on the pole at Wayne County in the deal, and they didn't run that well, but old Cap Henry and Slarson's been stealing all the bacon. Well, actually, I guess Slarson's only raced one race so far in Sprint Week. All right. Let's get to our hat shakes presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. There's been a lot of racing going on. Big Daddy, second Tony Holman Classic. at Terre Haute in dominating fashion. Kicked their ass, frankly.
Yeah, he waxed him.
Was that a front row starting spot, or they just hit the setup and go? You see that at Terre Haute every once in a while.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember where he started, but he's always been good there. I mean, he's won Sprint Week shows there. I mean, that's just one of those places he's always good at. So, 50th Tony Holman Classic, took home another rifle, so he stomped him.
The Throttle, Shane Cottle, Fountain of Youth, found it.
Yeah.
For second year in a row.
About that.
Just seems to get one every single year, and he got one at Gas City last year, which was a bit controversial because we thought CJ Leary might have won it, but he just hops in a car every once in a while and is like, yep, see ya.
Yeah, and he was really good on Friday night. It wasn't like he lucked into that or anything. Like he was, really all night, was really, really solid. Had a heat race win, so he was good.
Paired with Josh Hodges, who is a great driver, but I wonder if they try to make the whole deal Indiana Sprint Week together. July 4th race, the next night, Lincoln Park Speedway. The Macho Man took him to school in a thriller with he, Grant, and Leary. That was a very, very good race.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it's when you get guys going in lap traffic in and out like that, and there's all three of the leaders basically on top of each other trying to get through lap traffic, it's fun. So if you haven't seen those highlights, go back and watch them for sure.
One of those 2 nights at Lincoln Park, J-Mac went like 21st to 3rd in a midget race.
Oh, yeah, they had
was like a regional race?
Regional race, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think J-Mac's trying to get dialed back in here.
Yeah, get the mojo going again.
Trey Gropp won his first Power Eye Lucas Oil West Midget League race. Congrats to him and Flea Ruzick, who builds his cars. Airport Raceway. And then a first-time boss winner, Ricky Peterson, a 305 driver and former mini sprint driver from Ohio, who raced at some at Waynesfield when I was there and also raced some karts at Cartersville. Won with Boss for the first time in a good field. Dallas Hewitt, Scotty Weir, Luke Hall, Westfall, Underwood. Those boys were there. Those non-wing racers from Ohio. First win. Congrats.
That's
at Atomic.
It's your neck of the
All
woods.
Right. Our hat shakes presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Before you give them, Dylan, let me read this. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Wow, I butchered it already. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. And if you have car care needs, you do need to go to O'Reilly Auto Parts. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional. I can't do it.
Easy. Slow down there, speed racer.
We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better parts, better prices every day. Who is your hat shake?
I'm going to give mine to Josh Hodges because it's hard to step out of the car, and Josh, like you said, he was a good racer in his own right. Won a USAC sprint car race at Lawrenceburg, 2016, I think. So he's a winning USAC driver, and it's hard to step out of the car and just opt to be a crew chief and watch somebody else get in your car. But I think probably nothing more rewarding at the same time to put somebody else in your car and put the winning touches on it as the crew chief. So that was cool. Cool obviously for Cottle to win that too. But I know that that probably in a lot of ways validated his decision to step out of the car and put somebody else in. So cool for Josh and his dad and their whole crew to make that happen.
Shane's got a lot of experience, and he gets in a car and he can make it go to the front. And he can really tell you if your stuff's right or you're wrong. I've seen Josh Hodges race. His stuff hasn't looked wrong to me. He's very good in the 74X, and he's fast at a lot of places. So it was fun to see them get it together. All right, my O'Reilly Auto Parts hat shake of the week is not a racer, but is someone in the racing community. Stephanie Linder, whose husband Mike Linder part owns and wrenches on the 11N in Ohio for Buddy Kofoid. Drove to Victory Lane at Fremont one night of the Ohio Sprint Week. Buddy Kofoid did, not Stephanie. Kofoid won at Fremont. She organized a donation event where you could bring donations, whether it be fuel money, foods, snacks, paper towels, shop towels, anything. And you could bring it to Ohio Sprint Week and give it to any of the races you wanted to. It has been cool to see all the stuff that came in. I know they got fuel money that they put in their truck, and I know that I saw these two ladies had a big old cart of stuff and brought it to specific racers, then drove back to Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Like, we can't stay for the race, but we wanted to give this to Paul McMahon, and we wanted to give this to, That is badass. And
That's awesome.
There's so much negative crap in this world right now. And I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of looking at Twitter. I'm so tired of looking at Facebook. I just want to see good stuff. And that is good. That's my hat shake this week.
All right. I agree.
Tired of the
well
negativity.
Said. Well said.
Stephanie Linder, thank you so much for being a nice person. All right. PristineAuction.com. We need to mention our friends over there. Yesowich was telling me a story, our producer, Brian Yesowich, who I believe we have one more week with him.
Oh, yeah.
Which stinks.
He's going to make it to 100. And then
he's going to leave after the 100th episode.
Oh, things are going to
we
go
got to get Jack
down.
Hewitt.
Things are going to go downhill in a ball of fire.
I mean, if we're thinking about the greatest race car driver of all time, I mean, Jack Hewitt's probably not the greatest race car driver of all time. We've already had him, AJ Foyt, or maybe Steve Kinzer. We can get Steve Kinzer on 100.
That'd be pretty good.
That would be badass. Craig would be so mad if we got a wing. We got Kinzer on our show because of a wing racer. But so pristineauction.com. He was telling the story. I got off track there. The wrestler that he bought the thing from, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was underwear or I forget what he bought.
Bought a wrestler's underwear?
He bought something, bandana or something. Maybe he could come in here and tell us. But he said that the wrestler got kicked out of the league this week.
Oh, no.
The AEW Wrestling Association.
Now it's a collector's item.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Signed underwear or bandana or whatever it was. But
he could probably sell it on pristineauction.com for more money than he bought it for.
That's right. And if you use the promo, well, he did use the promo code RIP, R-I-P. He got a free $10. He barely even paid for that thing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Just turn it right back. That'd be a good move. But no, thanks, Yesowich, for everything you've done. 100 will be big. We'll see what happens. But it is pristineauction.com. All right, we ready to talk to Kendra?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we got all our business out of the way. Don't you think?
I think so. I think we're ready.
All right. Kendra Jacobs coming up next here on Rip the Fence, episode 99.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
So, yeah, she was on Wing Nation, the podcast, because the Knoxville Nationals are canceled. They're still racing that weekend, and we talked about it last week on 98, Dillon. But this is what are you, Kendra? The director of communications? Is that the title we should call you?
Director of marketing. You can throw communications in there, or sponsor services, fan relations. Yeah, just put it all in there.
Everything. Everything.
Jack of all trades.
Nothing that has to do with like the cars themselves. No, that's all John McCoy.
Yeah. So there we go. So we're live at Knoxville Raceway right now, where Kendra is up in the booth, and we are getting ready to talk some Corn Belt Nationals. 50 entries already from USAC and everywhere else. Tyler Courtney's running. The defending champ is going to be there, Brady Bacon. Wyndham, who just won the Holman Classic at Terre Haute, he will be there along with 47 others, Dillon. An impressive list.
Yeah, so Kendra, obviously the news came out last week, the week before, about the Nationals. But what has this year been like for you guys at the racetrack, just trying to appease the people that you have to appease while also still trying to get some racing in?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us is trying to keep it as normal of a year as possible. Back around, April, when it was hitting everyone that COVID was going to be here for a while, we would have said that the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's would be the one race that would happen no matter what. That is that is the race that made Knoxville Raceway. So in our minds, there was no way that race would get touched. We started to see, pretty quickly that it was the mass gatherings that were going to be affected the most, and our biggest mass gathering is that event. So now we're sitting in this like alternate reality where the nationals aren't happening, and in a way, it was not a relief to make that announcement last week, but it took a lot of weight off of our shoulders because we had been stressing about that and how to make it happen for months now. So now that we know the fate of the Nationals, we can focus on all the events that we know are happening, like the Corn Belt Nationals this weekend. This is a new race for us. It's only the second year of the Brant Corn Belt Nationals. It's our third consecutive year of having USAC and the non-wing sprint cars here. So, we see that this is one of those races where you look at, it's in still infant stages. So it's still a relatively small event crowd-wise, but it's something that we see that has a ton of potential. I think non-wing racing has really taken off in popularity again in the last 3 to 5 years, similar to what USAC was back in the 80s and early 90s. So we're seeing that again, and we really want to be a part of that. We want to, we're the sprint car capital of the world. We're not the winged sprint car capital of the world. So we want all kinds of sprint car racing here. And this race is really getting a following. And I think people who were only, exposed to winged cars gave the non-wings a chance. And we're like, whoa, this is crazy. I mean, these guys are nuts. And the race has really grown in popularity. And, only going into the second year of the 2-day show and the 20,000 to win, I'm hoping that this is a race that continues to grow. A dream would be to see it become a 3-day or 4-day show, similar to what the 410 Nationals are, and really make this a crown jewel on USAC's schedule.
Eldora canceled the King's Royal similar time as you guys did last week, and we talked about it on the show. The decision to cancel the Nationals, was that a board? I mean, do you guys have a board, right? Was it a board decision? Mm-hmm. Was it collaboration with local officials, teams? How did it work?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it came down to as soon as the governor announced on the Thursday before our announcement that strict social distancing would still be required. So what that means for any kind of venue that has seating is that you have to have 6 feet in between groups. So for us, instantly you go to using only every other row. So right there, you're down to 50% capacity. But then you also have to allow 3 empty seats between any groups that aren't together. So if you're a family, you can all sit next to each other. But if you have 4 tickets and the people next to you have 4 tickets, there has to be 3 empty seats in between your groups. So what we figured in this mathematical equation that made my brain hurt is that you're really down to about 35% of your capacity max. So that got us to the 7,000 number. And we were really hoping in our last proposal to the governor was to have reasonable or moderate social distancing rather than this strict 6 feet. Once she announced that the strict 6 feet would continue, the writing was really on the wall for us. We had already sold 12,000 tickets. So how do you choose 1,000 people to say, hey, we know you bought tickets, you can't come now, but your buddy who bought them the week before can? That was not a position that we wanted to be in. It's not the way we treat our fans. So that was right there, obstacle number 1. And then we did meet with the local government, the health department here in town, the mayor, the city council, emergency services. And they had also said, we're getting letters. There's concerns from people in the community of having people from all over the country kind of come into our little sleepy town for a week. And our relationship with the community is really important to us. And it's not something that we ever want to take lightly or say, your concerns don't matter. That's not how we feel and it's not how we operate. So that was obstacle number 2. And with both of those in front of us, then we had the Fair Board meeting where the 24 members of the Fair Board made an official vote on Monday night. So we kind of knew which way that vote was going to go. There were just too many obstacles in front of us. And then we announced the next day. And it was literally during our Fair Board vote that the Eldora Kings Royal announcement came out. So it's not great for the sport as a whole when you lose your two biggest events of the year. So to have both of those happen in about a 12-hour period was a tough blow. But I'm glad that the World of Outlaws have worked with us, and we're still going to have some kind of racing that week. It won't be the same, but it definitely eases the pain a little bit.
I love that. Was the vote unanimous?
I think I'm allowed.
Well, you have to be unanimous, right? But well, did everyone vote yes?
Yes. I mean, yes.
Yeah, that was the right call, I think.
Well, and the hard part about
we know that too. That it was, we really didn't have an option, and looking back, as painful as it was, we know it was the right decision.
Yeah, well, and like you guys said in your release too, I think the hardest part about that is that the Knoxville Nationals is so much more than just the on-track stuff, because it's the parties and the turn 3 area afterwards. It's going to Dingus. I mean, it's all of that makes it what it is, and you're not going to be able to have that. So that takes a big part of the overall feel of the event out of the equation.
Did you cry? Because I did.
I had tears. I cried in like April, because I think back then I knew even if we had it, it's not going to be the same. I cried in April, probably cried in May. I think my heart was like this when I was getting ready to send the announcement, because I just knew this is so monumental and not something we ever thought would happen. But I love that all the things that Dillon picked out that we're not having all had to do with parties and drinking.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you don't have parties, you don't have Dingus, you don't have turn 3 or 4.
I've only been to one Nationals, and that was all of the stuff that stuck out to me. So I know that I'm not alone in that. But so with all of that said, with the loss of the Nationals, the loss of the Kings Royal, the big events that are still left, and in this case, I think the Corn Belt Nationals falls into that category. How important is that for you as Knoxville Raceway and the community and the Fair Board and everybody who is responsible for putting these types of races on?
Yeah, I mean, this race is our 4 biggest events of the year are the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals. That's the crown jewel, obviously. Then we have the 360 Knoxville Nationals the week before. The Lucas Oil Late Model Nationals in September, and now our newest Nationals, our 4th Nationals event is this Brant Corn Belt Nationals. So we've really worked hard to keep this event. Like, this year's a tough year, and to have an event that still pays $20,000 to win, when you don't know if the crowd is going to come and support it. We fought really hard to keep this event on the schedule, and I'm hoping we get the support and the turnout to keep it going. But yeah, we've had to focus on how do you still make it feel like an event when you can't do a lot of that off-track stuff. We can't have the big parties. We can't have the bands. 3 and 4 can't be what it once was. It's tough. It's like you still want to give fans this big event feel when you can't give them the big events. So I'm hoping that everybody understands that the little tweaks are 1 year only. We're all praying that this is 1 year, and that next year we can really blow these events back up and make them a huge celebration. And we want to reward the fans and the drivers and teams and our sponsors for sticking with us during a rough year. So, the Corn Belt Nationals are going to be the first taste of our first big event of the year, and we're going to see how that goes. And ticket sales since the 410 Nationals were postponed, ticket sales for this event and all of our other big events have gone up. I think people have realized, like, whoa, the big one's gone. We got to go to all the other ones. So hopefully this exposes some new people that didn't give this a chance the first year. Maybe they'll come in year 2. I think we're looking for any reason right now to get out of the house and have some fun. And when you have grandstands that normally seat 20,000 people, there's plenty of room to spread out and socially distance and still have a really good time. And I can assure you Dingus is still open across the street. So that part of it has not changed.
Good. I was going to ask if Dingus was open. That was actually on my list. And with that, are fans allowed at the Corn Belt? How many are you allowed to have?
Yes. So we are allowed, our maximum capacity is 7,000 people. So we have not, granted, we've only had 1 year of this event, but we did not get close to 7,000 people last year. So we have plenty of seats. They're not going to sell out. even if you wake up on Saturday morning and think, you know what, let's go, I promise you there will be seats. We are going to open the backstretch both nights. So that gives us there'll be about 4,500 people in the front stretch, 2,500 on the back is what our capacity is per side. So there's plenty of room for everyone. We're going to try to make it the best event we possibly can. And, a lot of that falls on the drivers and teams and what they do on the track. And we've seen some amazing non-wing racing here. So I have no doubt that once the cars get on track, it'll be a good time.
Friday, Saturday, July 10th and 11th, the Corn Belt Nationals. Second annual, sponsored by Brandt Professional Agriculture. The Brandt family is amazing. Support NASCAR.
Yeah.
And they also know dirt track racing. I got some more questions for you. So how fun is sprint car racing right now? So when you guys came back, you guys were probably the second. I think I counted as the second sprint car race back from the pandemic, but it was on Dirt Vision, and we were able to watch it. I was at Dillon's house, hammered. It was a blast. It was so much fun.
You remember the race?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great race. It was a fantastic race. Don't ask me who won.
He remembers it was great, but didn't remember.
Wasn't
who
it
won.
gravel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fantastic. But we're gonna miss. I guess we're not gonna miss the Larson versus Schatz and Sweet and Schuhart and gravel because they're still gonna race that weekend, and I imagine all those drivers are still gonna be there, right?
Yes, I would assume. I mean, we haven't started entries for that event yet. The World of Outlaws are going to handle all of that. But I believe we're looking at about 70, 75 cars that we can fit in our infield with the spacing we have to have between trailers. So I think you're still going to see the greatest drivers in the country. I'm sad that some of our international guys like James McFadden can't come back to defend his 360 title, but we are going to see the best drivers in the country. You're going to see what Larson can do in a year where he's dedicated, to dirt track racing. And that's going to be really interesting to see how that works. And, we were kind of laughing last week a little bit because we said, does the guy that wins that weekend say, man, I still won the biggest race of the year? Or do they say, damn it, why isn't this the Knoxville Nationals when I won? So I think that win is going to be kind of a double-edged sword, right? So it's going to feel really good until you realize that in a normal year, you would have had your name etched into the history books. So I think the driver will be happy with 50 grand. I think that maybe he'll just become the front runner for the 150 next year. So we'll see. It should still be an amazing race, and Dirt Vision will have all of the action every night.
I'd be staring at my bank account like, are you serious? It could have another.
Tyler's never seen 50 grand in his life.
It could have got to 6 digits.
Neither have I. I would take the 50 grand.
I would too. Kendra, what has been the response and the feedback from the drivers? And I hate to keep drawing on the negative side of things. So more so that while there are no nationals, the Capitani is still going to be around. You're still going to have all the events, the Ultimate Challenge, and all of that things, which I know you guys aren't really directly responsible for. But like you said, they're still racing. So what has been the response from the drivers that you guys have talked to?
I think that obviously they wanted the NOS Energy Drink Nationals to happen. Everybody had that race circled, and trust me, I started getting phone calls from drivers back in March and April saying, do not cancel this race. You cannot cancel nationals. And I know how much this event means to everyone. I mean, all the drivers who race now grew up coming to Knoxville. They grew up watching the nationals. So this race is more than just a race to them. And I know that they were just as disappointed as we were from not only a revenue and making money standpoint, because let's face it, they've all been hurt really badly in their pocketbooks too this year. So I think the first was disappointment from that angle, but also as a race fan. Half of that field gets to be a fan one night, and they're all upset they're missing out on that too. But the World of Outlaws stepping up and working with us to have this event still ease that pain. And I think everybody's just grateful that there will still be a race, that there will still be a big event at Knoxville. Selfishly and being biased, that's where I believe the biggest event should happen. I'm glad it's still happening at Knoxville. I think what the teams and drivers have seen is that everyone is affected by this year. It's not just them. The tracks have been affected. Sponsors have been affected. far beyond what they do with us, but their day-to-day businesses have been heavily affected. So the fact that we're still racing, the fact that sponsors are still there is all encouraging. And, like I said earlier, I'm hoping we can reward everybody in 2021 with the biggest nationals we've ever seen.
Did it being the 60th Nationals have an impact on the decision, do you think?
I don't think it had an impact on the decision. I know it impacted my personal feelings of what the event would be like. There are others who felt that same way too, that, man, it's terrible that it's like an annual, it's one of those big years that's being so affected. And there are others that said, who cares what year it is? It doesn't matter. So I would say our ticket sales, merch sales, the hype shows that on big years like the 50th, 60th, 70th, that is important to a lot of fans. We've had fans reach out since and say, okay, since next year is the 60th now, will it still be big? And we're like, yes, like we are going to celebrate the 60th and the biggest celebration you've seen since the 50th. We're going to do this. So it meant a lot to me. I think those years should have a bigger feel to them. And I guess if there's a silver lining is that we'll still get that opportunity next year.
All right, so for my drunk friends who are going to Corn Belt, if you are the concession stands open?
Concession stands are open. Beer stands open. Liquor stands are open. Dingus is open. We're doing a happy hour beer special before it's open Saturday. We got some live music coming in. Now, not a huge party. We're staying with the guidelines and restrictions, but we got acoustic music coming in. We got Peachtree, our local draft brewery company. We're going to have some specials on their beer pre-race and just try to have as much fun as we can. But yes, for all your beer drinking buddies, domestics and crafts available from 3:30 on Saturday, all night Friday. Dingus open across the street, Peachtree open downtown both days. The fun is still to be had. You just got to go out and do it.
And for those who are still staying home, the race is on Flow or Dirt Vision or what?
It was both nights are on dirtvision.com, full shows. Okay. Saturday night, you can watch the Saturday feature event, the big one of the two nights. That will also be on Flow.
Okay.
So if you just want to see who takes home the 20 grand, that will be on Flow Saturday night. If you want to see the full show from both nights, that'll be on Dirt Vision.
I know you're biased to Dirt Vision, but you probably have been watching Ohio Sprint Week, right, on Flow Racing?
Well, my brother's racing every night. So I'm trying to get on there and follow what he's doing. And then they were at Wayne County Speedway in Ohio Monday night, and my great-grandfather built that track. So that track has a special place to me, and I like to watch whenever I can what goes on there. So, yep, I've been watching. I want to see if Larson dominates and how that goes, after his crazy domination of Pennsylvania Speed Week. But he's only raced one Ohio night so far, and he had really bad luck and got in a wreck in his heat race. So I'm not going to hold that against him. We're going to see what he does when they go back to racing tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Friday and Saturday, July 10th and 11th, Corn Belt Nationals, second annual. Go to it. Brent Professional Agriculture is the sponsor of the race. Thanks, Kendra, for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for supporting dirt racing. It's really important to all of us, and I know everything MRN has done for dirt racing in the last 10 years has been incredible. I can't believe it's been 10 years, but it's been incredible, and the fans love having these shows that are specific to dirt racing and not just being a side note with other forms of racing coverage. So thank you guys for everything you're doing and helping us get the word out in a crazy year.
Well, we wouldn't have the show if it wasn't because of you. You started Wing Nation. You helped start this thing. So if there was no Wing Nation, there's no Rip the Fence.
Yeah, I mean, that's Craig Moore that I think you guys can hear in your ear, and Steve Post. They created all that and then just let me crash the party.
Yeah. Kendra, thank you. Have fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kendra.
Talk to you later. Kendra Jacobs, everyone, from Knoxville Raceway, born in Ohio, and obviously she was talking about, what did she say, her brother?
Mm-hmm.
No, not her brother, her uncle, Dean Jacobs.
The whole Jacobs clan.
All the Jacobs run.
Kenny, Dean, all of them are still obviously out there racing and running around. And I saw somebody tweeted the other night that there was 3 of them all qualified 7th, 8th, and 9th or something. So it just said Jacobs. So down the leaderboard.
Kenny.
Yeah, I mean there's
Dean.
They're all over the place. So
man,
yeah,
there's a lot of Jacobs.
Yeah,
just like there's royalty in NASCAR, or not NASCAR, in Ohio sprint car racing. The Blaneys, the Jacobs.
Yeah.
Ferkel, I mean, if you think of Rick Ferkel, obviously, but
yeah, no,
there's a lot of families.
If you think of racing families, I mean, especially in the dirt racing
Hot
world,
Shield.
yeah, I mean, the Jacobs family is at the top of the list every time, so for sure.
No doubt. All right, so we know when you're racing again, which will be in PA Midget Week. How many weeks do we got left?
3, I think. It's at the beginning of August, so.
Are we going?
Well, I'm
because
going.
there is a plan in place that we are trying to get in place. I'm slacking here a little bit about getting a house.
Well, my hotel's already booked, so you're gonna.
I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to figure it out.
Stay in your hotel.
You're gonna have to figure it out on your own. There's only one bed. It's not big enough for all three.
You don't have
of
a
us.
couch. You didn't get a suite.
I'm not made of money.
All right, we'll have to get a separate
We're staying
hotel.
at the Holiday Inn Express. So
I got some points. See, I was thinking, I don't know if I could go for the whole trail. That's a little long. Maybe a couple races.
Well, you could
drive up there.
I mean, you could drive up there you could drive up there Tuesday, and just go straight to the racetrack, and then drive home Saturday night. So you save yourself 2 nights of hotels that way.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So
hit a couple races.
Yeah.
Which ones do you think you're going to be the best at? Because I want a victory lane photo.
I honestly don't know. I mean, I haven't. I've watched a lot of races at all of these places, but I don't know. I'm excited, man. They're all super fun, super racy tracks, and like I talked about last week, Chad's stuff is good everywhere, but they were good there last year, and it obviously have been fast already this year. So I'm excited. I think we have a shot to legitimately go out there and run well and contend. So I'm looking forward to it.
So next week we celebrate with episode 100.
How about that?
100. Who should we get?
I don't know. Today's Hewitt's birthday. Maybe we should get Hewitt.
Jack Hewitt. Should we get him?
Should we get
Maybe
Hewitt again?
Oh, yeah, we should do a poll or something of like our 4 best guests.
Yeah.
Numbers wise, I'll even go back to the numbers if you want. I know Jack's up there. I would love Jack Hewitt. You already know I'm biased towards Jack Hewitt.
Yep.
So congratulations, happy birthday to Hewitt. You made it this long. Jeez, all those crashes you've taken. I can't believe you made it this long.
I know, he's still here.
We love you, Grandpa Jack. We need to see if Uncle Smoke will fire up the plane so we can go over to Knoxville this week.
I know. I'm gonna be
you're
in
going
Kentucky.
to Kentucky.
I'm gonna be in Kentucky.
Oh gosh.
I know.
So
I'll
man.
be watching online.
Episode 100. We're gonna celebrate next week. Follow us on Twitter at RipTheFence. You can also check out our website ripthefence.com. You can email the show ripthefence@gmail.com. We've gotten a couple emails. People have been saying we wanted like more music opinions.
More music.
Yeah, more. Yeah, and
Like
I've been listening to
like we used to do
the Chicks a lot. I just do it because I'm pissed off at Amazon every time. I'm like, why are you gonna change the name of the greatest acapella, female country singers of all time?
Boy, there's a lot of classifications in there. A lot of really narrowing down your greatest of all time list there.
I love the Chicks. Because it's too offensive to say their real name.
I know. I saw that on my radio the other day too, and just shook my head. It's like,
I've never been a Lady A fan, but they're all right.
Yeah, not as good as the Dixie Chicks.
No, not as good as the Dixie Chicks. Damn right. Landslide broad. Better than Fleetwood Mac.
This debate will never end. Every February.
Episode 100. See you next week.